Really, he's shaping America to be great for the white American man.
Let me ask you, I'm white. What is he doing specifically to help me that is not doing for you?
I would say more of the higher class, I would say, particularly when it comes to, him saying black jobs and giving tax cuts.
So now saying black jobs is considered as favoring white people. No. Let's get into it. When Al Sharpton or one of these other race hustlers refers to black jobs, black employment, they are celebrated for it. But when DJT brings up black jobs and actually is doing something about it, he's seen as a racist. Got you. No, it makes perfect sense. Perfect. There's no smooth brainery that is detected in this one right here. Jasmine Croquet Jr., the future ghetto queen of Congress, completely rational and sane. Yeah.
To the rich and banning abortion and all of that, I feel like if you look at it as a whole, I don't think he's benefiting every...
Are these people living in the same reality?
population.
What about the tax cuts that he passed? Didn't those overwhelmingly benefit the low income, the middle income class?
You're asking, is it benefiting them?
In 2018, he passed tax cuts. Didn't those overwhelmingly benefit the middle income, the low income class?
Middle income and low income class.
This goes out to anybody out there. When you don't know, right, this is what you can do. In any given situation, this will likely help you out. This is what you do. You purse your lips up like this, and you go, I don't know. See that? It's relatively simple. Just, I don't, don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Jasmine Jr., you don't know. You didn't know that. You're using the talking points that were given to you by your political party. Tax the rich. That's a new one. The rich don't pay their fair share of taxes. Well, that's about as young as Bernie Sanders. Every leftist movement pushes this idea of the rich are screwing you over. All the while, the government is leeching off of you. So the business owner, the self-starter, the man who is providing jobs is the one who is seen as screwing you over because he has built some sort of wealth. But the government who leeches off of you, whose paycheck is dependent upon you getting paid, they're for you. This is the nonsense of this social, and I don't even know if most of these kids know they're actually touting socialist, communist ideology. I don't think they do. Some of them really, really do. Some of them are unhinged and they're fully gone to this communist nonsense, right? But ones like this, she is literally she's talking out of both backsides. Unbelievable. Like sometimes I'm genuinely floored at just how ignorant you can be. You're in an institution that is supposed to be educating you and you become dumber. That's crazy.
Because we know based on IRS data, the individuals that earned anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000, which is the average American, they got a tax cut between 15 to 17%. If you made less than $50,000, you got a 26% reduction on your taxes. I think that benefits the low income class, right?
But what about now?
We're still in that same exact tax bracket, and it was going to expire in 2025, but now Congress is trying to extend it permanently.
I think as a college student, my views are really different.
What's important to you as a college student?
College student, of course, my financial aid. I get VA benefits. women's rights is very important to me.
In terms of the women's rights, what is it?
When they speak of women's rights, by the way, y'all know what they're saying, right? Unaliving my unborn child, or now, like in the UK, born child, upwards to 9 months, you can take that baby's life. That's what matters to them, because they want to fornicate openly. They want to have no accountability or responsibility, right? The 95 upwards to 98% of individuals who choose not to have a child based off of personal reasons, i.e., opportunities of or career advancement, education advancement that may be, God forbid, compromised because of this baby who is a burden upon me now. Or on the other, I think it's like 75%, they're just doing it because, well, they don't want to have the baby. So that's women's rights. That's what women's rights has become. Women's reproductive rights and all this sort of nonsense, these sort of euphemisms that are used and touted or whatever. At the end of the day, it is about unaliving your own children. And the reason why it's so hard for this young lady to comprehend is, and I will bring it up, is because she is a young black woman who believes, because of all the propaganda she's being fed, is that there is no way an older white man could actually do anything that would benefit you. So they look to somebody who is closer in identity, quote unquote, like a Kamala Harris, fake black woman, but she can be black enough. She is a woman, therefore she must care about me. That's the logic. Not the facts, not what's actually gone on, not the fact that black folks have been greatly benefited by Donald Trump's both presidencies thus far, more so than probably the past 5 or 6 presidents, including Democrats, including Mr. Barack Hussein Obama himself. But those facts don't matter. All that matters is whiteness, blackness, marginalized and marginalizer, the oppressed and the oppressor. That's as simple as that. There has to be something that this man has taken away from me, because surely it cannot register in my simpleton brain that this man would actually be serving the nation as a whole.
Issue that you have with Trump, specifically Trump, not Republican Party.
He hasn't really done anything yet, but whenever Project 2025 was a thing, well,
I'm still waiting for my shackles to arrive in the mail, by the way, because I was told that slavery's coming back. I'm going to be sent back to the plantation. That's what I was told. So if y'all get the FYI, the memo, maybe you got an alert on your phone or something like that. Maybe there's a pickup center I need to go to, but I'm still waiting on them shackles.
still is a thing, and he swore up and down that it wasn't him, even though his name's mentioned a lot of times, and what he's doing now does align with Project 2025. I think that when it
not everything, because
he's been in office for not too long, so we're not too sure on that yet.
But he said it many times that he's not going to sign a federal ban. Federal ban abortion is only popular with like 12% of Americans.
They have to make shit up. And here's the thing. I have to say it. She is actually a victim, not of white supremacy, not of racism, Jim Crow, slavery, her ancestors. She is a victim of a Marxist government, of a Marxist agenda, a Marxist education system that looks to make her dumb, deaf, and blind to reality. That's what she's a victim to. Now, everything else, that's, again, it's choice. But she has been let down because she could be no older than 19 years old or something like that. She has been let down by institutions that promised to educate her. Likely an education system before she even stepped on a college campus that was already preparing her and indoctrinating her into this mentality. By a social structure that told her that she was a victim, that she was helpless, and that the white man was out to get her. That's what I do have to point to. Because everything else that's being said, again, you can't, it's a cult ideology in the way where you can't actually feed any new information into the system. It can only receive what it's received thus far. It can only receive a reinforcement of what it currently believes. So in the cult of racial identity, let's point to that one directly. The white man is your enemy. The white man is your enemy. The white man's your enemy. The white man wishes you harm. The white man is causing harm. The white man is the reason for all harm. So everything has to fit into that lens. Let me explain, or just give a little bit of a detailed example. So let's say you are a young black man and you're riding through a predominantly black neighborhood, pull up to a gas station, and you get ambushed. God forbid, somebody takes your life. There is going to be a narrative around that says this young black man was murdered by those who look like him. That would be the reality of what happened. This narrative or this lens would say white supremacy, because they can't say the white man because it was another black. So they wouldn't say black on, they would say white supremacy led to that young black man's demise. If it wasn't for the white supremacist system, you get what I'm saying? Everything has to fit through that insane lens. So she literally cannot compute that an older white man, a man who happens to be born white, or as some would say orange, can actually have the greater good of somebody who looks like her. You know, he didn't even have to mention or reference, I guess, you know, it just wasn't something that was highlighted. The fact that DJT created long-term and sustainable funding for HBCUs. He was the only president to listen to these jail or prison reforms. Shout out to his daughter. He was the only one to do something about it. And this is his first term. Before this second term, he put out a plan called the Platinum Plan that has how many billions of dollars that are going to be specifically for the black community. These things are not highlighted. The fact that black folks were mobilized more during Trump's last administration because of those tax cuts, etc. Employment rates going up. Even though the propaganda machine will tell you one thing, 137,000 new jobs are available. They're just not, many of them are not being taken into account. Whereas Joe Biden lied about 400,000. Turns out that many of them weren't even real. Most were fabricated, and even government jobs. We're not talking about government. We're talking about private sector. So these things can't compute in the mind of a person like this. That's why I really want to take it. It's easy to just, throw the ad hominem attacks or just personal attack. That's too easy, too much material here. But what I really want to get to is the baseline of like, when this mental virus takes over, and it has many forms in which it manifests depending on who the person is that actually receives this virus, accepts it into their body, and it starts to affect their, quote unquote immune system. For most black folks, it takes the shape and form of white supremacy, injustice through whiteness. And therefore, this man could literally save her from a burning building, and she would have blamed white supremacy for putting her there. And she would have lightly fought that she have representation in who saved her. And that's white supremacy showing itself once again, having to save a black woman. That's how deep that is. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there, or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 3-6-5, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up, you know them constellations. Constantly gazing like house of praises, you get to praising.